Hey, 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 rock stars.
Tell my children, always find something you love that brings you joy and make it your career. And at 69 years old, I figured it out for myself.
I have what I need to be successful in this business.
The networking, the building relationships within our own industry and across the country.
Just being able to communicate and be with other Rockstar organizers and being able to collaborate together. With Holly, she's just amazing and has done an amazing job.
That's what I love about this group, is that we're all so unique. It's not a franchise model where I'm like, you have to do exactly word for word, but I do give you a lot of guidelines, like you said.
Till you do it, you don't realize that you can do it. I know Holly knows what she's talking about, and I know she's right. But then in my head, it's like, how am I going to make it work for me?
What we do is important because it changes people's lives and it's a ministry. And that really spoke to me because I love helping other people.
A stumbling block I hear in a lot of organizers is that once they want to send their teams out, they're like, but how do I make sure that they do things perfectly? Okay, I get it. I've been there before. But until you release control, you're not going to experience those results.
There's a lot of anxiety and stressors that come with being a business owner, but I still have things are on my terms, and I have the flexibility and I have the ability to provide for myself.
You asked a lot of questions that help us get to the root of what it is that we really want. They say that the teacher you need shows up when you need them. It was literally like the first week I joined this program, and there was no way that I could have gotten my act together on my own. Like the fact that you had the whole library of things, you're just like, here it is.
There is no
I don't
feeling.
like excuse makers, and I don't like victims, and I don't like people who blame shift responsibility on me or somebody else when it's the own bad self that needs to be doing something. This is how you create a sustainable $100,000 plus business. You create an offer for your person, you make it repeatable, and then it becomes sustainable, and then you're not reinventing the wheel for every client, and you end up making more money that way. All right. Welcome to Rockstars Unplugged. I'm Holly Sutherland, the founder of Rockstar Organizers, and what that slide said is true. I help organizers do 10K plus months, working only 2 days a week with clients. And the dates were on that were a little bit wrong, but the link is correct. We do have an event coming up October 17th through 19th. That was from our May event last year. We do it a couple times a year. It is always so much fun. Rockstar Organizers Live, and I'm looking forward to this year. I've been getting the swag packs together, and it's going to be a cozy mountain cabin theme. I'll tell you more about that later. But what today is all about is how these people actually reach some of these 10K months that we talk about. And these people are on their way. Some of them have reached it. Some of them are on their way. But the method that they use is the method that I teach that has helped organizers routinely hit 10K months, working only a couple days a week with clients. There's a lot that you can do whenever you have a couple of teammates helping you, but at first it can feel a little bit scary. And one of the best ways to transition into getting a team to work with you is to have package pricing set up. This was my story. Back in 2016, I was like trying all the things, and I landed on some ideas and some strategies that I developed out very heavily, which is now my package pricing model, which has made so much difference for me, and for the organizers who are in my groups. So if this is something that you ever have been curious about, you've been maybe even confused about it, you're kind of hesitant, like I'm not sure how this would work, then you're in the right place today, because TBB members are going to spill the tea. And what TBB stands for is Team Building Blueprint. That is my 12-month program where I help people implement this day in and day out. They get their questions answered. They try things, they succeed, they fail, they get up and try again, and they don't have to do it alone. So I have 3 very special members coming on. I'm going to bring y'all up. Callie, Julie, and Aaron. Welcome, my friends. Good to see you. Yeah. Good to see y'all. So Callie is in Illinois, Julie is in New York, and Aaron is in Ontario, Canada. So all over the place here, and I'm down in South Carolina. And I really just wanted to have a candid conversation with them. I've really only given them the 3 questions, and I just gave them to them like 10 minutes ago. So whatever they're about to say is their true experience. And I just want you to be able to hear them talk. I know sometimes we think that we're alone as organizers trying to figure out what's the secret sauce, what's the playbook, does this really work? You know, does this person really know what they're talking about when they give you advice in all these random Facebook groups? And so I want you to be able to hear it from them. There's something so valuable about hearing it from organizers. And these are 3 women who I love having in our group. Julie's been with me for a couple of years. She told me just now, she said, your package pricing is the first thing I ever tried. I'm like, I didn't realize that. Most people try other things first. But Julie came in, I think, right around May of 2022. And it's been so cool to see Julie grow. So I'm excited for you to hear from her. Erin just joined Team Building Blueprint last month. She's been in my world for a while. She did Reboot back in the spring, implemented some things, had a really big win recently that I'm excited for her to tell you about. And then Callie's also been in my world for, it seems like a couple years at least. And Callie is a go-getter, and she had some ideas, and then she had some different ideas, and then she joined us, and I think she's glad she did. So I'll let her tell her story. But let's start with Erin. So I have this question, Erin. So what was life and business like before packages?
Well, my business reflected my life. It was crazy. I have 2 school-age children. I'm an older mom, pushing 50, and I came across this industry accidentally and just kind of was reading what I could about it, but I never had systems. I never had the path to get to where I wanted to go. Like I want to be up here, and I was very much stuck, 2 steps forward, 5 steps backwards, because I didn't know. I didn't have the support. I didn't have the guidance, the steps, or anything. And I was kind of like, my business was a wing and a prayer. And it wasn't what I wanted. And following along, taking the little courses here and there, and the courses with Holly, I was little things. I'm like, oh, this makes sense. Okay, let's try this. And yeah, the process works.
Yeah, living on a wing and a prayer. I bet some other people listening can relate to that. Callie or Julie, have you ever been living on a wing and a prayer with your business? Yeah? Julie, tell us about it. What was it like before?
So when I started, always felt like that hourly didn't really make sense to me. It seemed like it doesn't make things as concise, easy to communicate, easy to talk about. So I happened to, see your program and jumped right into the package pricing because I knew that made sense to me, but I didn't know how to structure it. So you were able to give me the tools to show me how to do that.
Yeah, so it was really early on for you, and you were like, okay, the hourly doesn't make sense, but package does.
Yep.
And
I looked at what other organizers were doing, and I saw that most of them were doing hourly, and that to me, that just didn't make sense.
Yeah, tell me why. Why don't you think it made sense?
It just seems like if we're doing a project or a space, that being able to communicate, a time frame or give them more of a structure with packages, there's less questions, there's less to have to go through with them. It just seemed more straightforward and made more sense. I just didn't know how to structure it myself at that time. Yeah,
how to structure it. I know Callie felt that way too. Like, how do I structure this? And we went back and forth. We did some one-on-ones even before you came into Team Building Blueprint. Tell us about that, Callie, because I remember you had that same thing as Julie with like, how do I structure?
Yeah, I was definitely intimidated by that. So before packages, I felt like I was just job to job, and I didn't feel as professional. I kind of felt like I was just putting myself out there as more of like a done with you organizer, rather than like professional organizer, come in and do what, I think is best and do check-ins with you kind of thing. So yeah, I felt like I was like someone's servant. I don't know how to explain it. Because at the end of a job, I was like, all right, so what do you think? Instead of, because I know they need more hours normally. And so that was awkward. I just felt like I wanted to do the hourly. I was intimidated by the package pricing because I thought I would have more control doing the hourly. When come to find out, actually, I feel like such a relief with the package pricing because I feel like I get people who are more committed. So, yeah.
Would you be open to telling the story of what just happened this weekend?
Oh, gosh.
You don't have to give a whole lot of detail.
Yeah. So I had a client who I worked for originally, and it was just hour by hour basis, whenever she needed it. There wasn't clear goals. It was more just like winging it. And it felt, I just felt off. And at that point in time, I was kind of turned off by the idea of someone working with me because I was a high school guidance counselor forever. And I felt like I was like, I didn't want to be babysitting someone. But, what I learned, fast forward, I learned that when you have really good people working for you, they're an asset and there's no babysitting and it just flows. When I have another Cali type personality, it doesn't have to be exactly like me, but we just vibe and it flows and it's so easy and it makes life so much better. So anyway, we took a hiatus from working together for a bunch of different reasons. And then she asked me if I wanted to work for her again. And I said, yes, of course. And I sent her my packages and said, here's how I operate now. And it was so clear. And she chose my biggest package. I have 20, I have 10 and 20, 40, and she chose my 40. And I was like, oh, what a relief. And I had raised my rates, and I work with the team now. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you were a little bit nervous to reach back out and say, this is the new thing.
I was nervous.
She did it. And she took the biggest one.
Yeah. Yeah. She didn't care.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that today and I was like, so what's your takeaway from this? What's your lesson from this? And she's like, first she goes, follow the process, surrender to the proven process, do the steps Holly says. I'm like, well, what about for you? What's the process the truth you took away from it or the lesson you took? And she's like, stand in my truth. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what it is. Stand in your truth. You know what you want to make from something. And it never really feels good to lower our standards for somebody. And we're honestly not doing them a favor or ourselves a favor. So no, there's no favors, but it does feel tricky. So way to go on. Yeah. Shannon says, bring on the money, girl. She says, packages are all I know. It's the best. Yeah. Shannon started with me brand new about a year ago. And I think she hit consistent 3 to 5K months, like more than the first couple months. And it takes organizers a while, right? And the packages are what help you get to those steady 3 to 5K and then beyond once you start adding teammates on. So I know Erin also had a recent win with package pricing, even though there was a period where, just like anybody, there was some hesitation or confusion about how to really go all in with it. And so I'm curious if you would share your story too, Erin, about, it's kind of twofold. Like, what did you feel hesitant or confused about? But then also what just happened recently once you let any of that confusion go?
Yeah. So beforehand, I was the discounter. The model I had learned originally when I started, I've only been seeing clients for about 3 years. And the process I learned was, the more hours, then you got a bigger discount. And I didn't like that because I'm worth what I charge, right? And to be discounting my services wasn't doing me any justice. It wasn't getting me to where I wanted to get. My problem with doing the packages was I couldn't understand, and I couldn't wrap, and I'm going to apologize, kids are in the background. I couldn't wrap my head around, adding that value that they're going to, why don't I just get 4 8-hour packages as I need them instead of buying a 40-hour package? What's the value? Like, where's the difference? So it was learning how to add the value to those packages. That really was the game changer for me. And while I was adding value, I increased my prices at the same time. And so that was a big game changer. And I learned what to say. I was confident. I wasn't just throwing things in all the time, like, oh, well, yeah, we'll go every time we're there, we take donations away, or every time we do this. It was written out. So when they had already gone, and I can't remember, there was one of the calls we did a few weeks back, by the time they reach out to me, they've already seen my 3 base packages. They know what to expect. They know my price. So I know I'm not trying to like tell them why the price is what it is. They see it. They see what's there. And now I have the words and the confidence to recommend. And so I guess I had joined a week and a half into TBB, and I had the scripts and I had my packages set. And I sold, not only wasn't my largest one on my website, it was actually bigger than that. I sold a 60-hour package.
Yes.
Like within a week and a half, and just that confidence and the trusting the process. And again, now with having the packages, what I'm finding is great. I just sent an estimate out this morning to someone I spoke with on Friday, and the estimate went out and was accepted within 10 minutes. The deposit was already paid. It's for my middle package for 16 hours. And it's fantastic because now I have the confidence I know the money's there, the deposit's paid. I have subcontractors. I don't have employees yet. That's my next step. But now I know, like, a 60-hour job, I'm bringing both the girls that I use for subcontractors with me, and I'm only there for, 5 or 6 days instead of the whole month trying to fit it in on my own now. And it's, yeah, like the packages, they are moving. It's so much easier to do it that way, and having it out on the first page of the website, like, game changer.
100%. 100%. You get so much done so much faster, and then being able to bring teammates, and then you get to bring more money home, right? I think Julie recently experienced this. She was telling us they did, what was your story you just said today? You did a 2-day job and
a 3-day job with a second organizer. So the 3 5-hour days, so 30 hours in 3 days.
Yeah. Mm. You bring home more that way too. And then plus it gives the client a good experience because their stuff gets done faster.
Right.
But when we hesitate and we feel confused about how to implement stuff, it's really not only keeping us back, but it's holding up our clients' results too. And so when we can see that it's actually better for everybody, then it helps you to pull the trigger a little sooner. So is there anything else any of you felt confused about before implementing this?
My biggest roadblock in my head with the package pricing was not decreasing the price per hour as you go. That was so uncomfortable for me, but like now I'm just used to it. Yeah.
Why do you think you hesitated?
Because I think some people would think, I actually have had people ask me, well, how come how come your 40-hour is just double your 20? I'm like, well, because you get more services, you get more out of it. But like, I always bring up plumbers. I have no clue why, but a plumber isn't going to say, hey lady, because I had to be at your house 20 hours. And I thought, like, I'm going to charge you for my 18 hours. No one's going to say that. Like, why do we think we need to do that? The one time I did on a 20-hour package, I threw in 2 hours. In those 2 hours, I felt it. Like, I physically felt she didn't pay for this, and I'm working my butt off. And I don't know, it felt weird. It felt awkward to me. And I was like, I don't need to give away free hours. No, I don't feel comfortable doing it. I tried it.
I think that almost devalues us when we give our services away. Like, as a professional, the same plumbers, dentists, massage therapists, whatever the profession is, they're not giving discounts. Like, you don't see that. Your 5th adjustment is free if you go to a chiropractor. Like, they don't do that. And I think one of the things that I got my head around again was they've already seen my prices. I'm not selling my price to them. Mm-hmm. I'm just making sure that I am the right person for the job.
Yeah.
So I'm more. It's helped me become more selective in my clientele as well. I'm not just having, borderline hoarders with that filthy houses that I don't want to work in. I can filter them out now. Like, because because they see what I'm
Yes.
doing, and it makes it so much easier to.
The price does act as a good filter. I totally agree. And it makes it easier to weed out the wrong ones. Because if they see the price, they're not going to even fill out the form, right? And that's some of the results that I've seen after people implement this, is that you actually attract better clients whenever you ask them to invest more. Have y'all seen this?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Julie, what other results have you seen? And I know you've got to go pick up your daughter here soon, so I want to call on you first.
I think it simplifies the communication, and just also, I mean, my biggest hesitation initially was, when you have a 10-hour package as a base, and I was at the time when $75 an hour, $750 for a base of something, like seems high to some to me personally, so then wrapping my brain around that. But the clients that I can do that myself, they can't do it. So it's like when she talks about hiring a plumber, we don't question what their rate is because we don't know how to do any of that. So when someone brings us on and they know that the results they're going to get are going to, change their life, to them, it's worth it. It's worth the investment. And the people that look at my website and see the packages, they know what they're getting for that price, and they know that it's worth it to them. It's worth the investment.
So good. So good. Callie, what about you? What kind of results have you seen as a result of package pricing?
I feel like you guys are saying, I'm attracting people who take it more serious. I think in the past when I did the hourly, I kind of felt like I was like, glorified home cleaner or like assistant or something. I felt that vibe because people were just trying it out. And the people who I attract now because of the package pricing are just serious about it. And they trust that I know what I'm doing. And, another topic, but they're really more, done for you clients versus the done with you, like breathing down my neck. And anyway, that's a niche thing too. But and then, I feel more professional. And then that the hours are set. I just sold a 20-hour package. And we set both dates, 2 5-hour days. So 10 hours and 10 hours. And it's nice. It's all set. It's ready to go. We're going back and forth. We got goals. We're going to, I'll do a midway checkpoint, like, hey, how are things going? And of course, like push for more spaces in the home. And then add another 20-hour, another 40-hour. But I love the increments. So you're not feeling like you're a salesperson every single time. It's more like it's all set and ready to go.
Beautifully said. They know you're the woman for the job and that you can get it just right.
Exactly.
Her company is called Just Right Organizing.
See it up there.
Oh, too funny. I'm cracking myself up with my dad jokes over here. So, Erin, what about you? Results that you've seen after implementing this model?
Again, it's the ease. It's the pressure off of me of selling. I am not a salesperson. I tried retail. I don't like to sell. I like to help. And having the packages and having it laid out on the website, it makes it clear to them before they reach out to me, they have an understanding as to what to expect when they talk to me in terms of what my services are. It's, having, again, a 20-hour package or 16-hour package, that's going to get done in 2 days with, my team. Like, we can have it done quickly. It's done for them. I'm finding I'm now attracting people that are more the done for me clientele, the ones that say, here's the key and go do your magic. And that's fantastic. It's such a relief because I have more confidence knowing they have confidence in me as well. And there's nothing hiding behind the scenes. Like, there's no hidden fine print that, says, oh, by the way, I'm going to start charging you, for every extra hour, or, it's right up front for them. And it just, I think, makes their decision-making process easier.
For sure. It does make it a lot easier for them to just choose and get started. And then it simplifies things for you. I love what Julie said about the communication. It simplifies the communication, the billing, and the scheduling instead of having to do a custom thing for every single body, you know. And I do want to clarify one thing. And Julie, do you have to pop? I know it's right at the top of the hour. What'd you say?
I gotta pop off. Go grab her.
Okay. Go get your girl. See ya. Thanks for coming on. So one of the things that I have noticed that organizers get confused about is something similar to what Erin just said about the hidden whatever. And what I don't teach, just to be clear, is that you give one price and you guarantee that the whole thing is going to get done for that price. There is the possibility to add on hours at the end if they want to keep going in certain ways. But it's kind of like, I use this silly analogy. I don't even know why I use this, but it just makes sense in my head, I guess. When you go to the store and you want to get a refrigerator, you don't want them to tell you, well, the generator and the motor and whatever, I don't know if a refrigerator has a generator, is going to start at $650. And then we're going to add a door. But if you want 2 doors, it's going to be an extra $750. And then we need to put that thing that makes it cold. That's going to be an extra $250. And if you want an ice maker, that's going to be this. It's kind of like they give you a price. They give you Kenmore's start at $12.50. The Luxy Ducks starts at $3,000. You know, people don't really care to know all the ins and outs. They just want a ballpark, and they want to know, how long do you think this might take, and how much do you think this might cost? When people are busy and you want to attract more of those done for you clients, like Kylie and like Erin talked about, they see the price, and instead of being scared, they're actually comforted because they know now what to expect. And they feel like you are not wasting their time by telling them what to expect and being very clear from the beginning. And one thing about busy people is we do not like our time wasted. Time is precious, right? Busy people do not like you to waste their time. And so you think you're doing them a favor by doing it a la carte and we'll do it as we go. But the thing you got to understand, and I think Erin and Callie would agree with this, is that some people have time objections and some people have money objections, and they are usually not the same people. The done for you clients who want you to come do it have time objections. They're like, how much are you going to actually require me to be there? Because I don't have that much time to be there. We're like, we got you. We got a process. We can work all this out without you. We'll call you in for needed decisions. Don't worry. We won't make important decisions behind your back. We won't trash things that, you know, you want to keep behind your back. But the people with money objections are typically going to be drawn to the discounts and the hourly because they're going to be kind of penny pinching, thinking like, oh, I can just kind of do a little bit here. And if I end early, I'm going to make sure she doesn't charge me for that last 30 minutes, you know, and it just gets old, right, ladies? It just gets old on like, oh, here we are now all on the same screen. It just gets old with people questioning and nickel and diming and like looking at every little thing. Have you had a client like that before? Where you're like, I am not going to get that granular for you, ma'am. Have you had that before?
Oh, yeah. I've had many of those. I think I was attracting them in the beginning because I didn't know my worth and, you know, and maybe I did need some practice. But, yeah, no, that the penny pension, it's, I don't know if I agree this is like always a luxury service. There's some people that like truly, you know, don't have the time to do things, whatever, but, or the ability. But still, I think that, the penny pension, I can't take that vibe of someone like, you know, either rushing me. But I've been standing in my own truth. Like even with that, I was at a client's house and she wanted us for this many hours. I said, okay, what's your priority? Is your priority completion? Is your priority, you know, us staying 1 extra hour, whatever, to get it done? Or is your priority staying in your budget or staying what we committed to, whatever? And she's like, oh, I don't know. And I could tell she just wanted us to hurry to get it done. And I was like, no, I am not literally carrying stuff upstairs all the way through a humongous house out to a garage. I'm like, that's not how it's going to work. I'm not going to sprint up your stairs to try to make it in this time frame because that's not safe for me or my assistant. So I finally just got it out of her. Like, I need to know. And she said, okay, yeah, you guys can stay an extra half hour, whatever it was. And I was like, yeah, okay. Because it feels rushed, and it's like, I'm not running through your house.
I'm not bending over backwards to save you $20. I'm going to do the job, and I'm going to get it done, and it's going to cost what it's going to cost. I'm not staying extra to try to squeeze something out of you, but like, this is what it takes, ma'am, you know? And we want people who value that. And so the way that we structure our packages really changes who we attract. And I think you're a great example of that, Callie. Yeah. Erin, have you noticed that at all? That you attract different types of people or not?
100%. 100%. You know, the ones that would always say, oh, you know, let's just do one day. And then at the end, they're like, oh, well, can you come back and do another day? And it's like, well, I can do that, but you're not going to get me back for 2 weeks because someone bought a package and I'm now booked out for those 2 weeks. And it's, so for me, I'm feeling bad because I can't help them as fast as they want because they've only done, you know, one day. And even though I am quite forward with people and say, you know, like, this is probably going to take us X amount of hours. And well, okay, let's just try it. And I mean, I used to say yes to those clients. And now I'm like, no, like, you're either going to take the package and trust my expertise, how long it's going to take, and we'll move forward. Or if you just want one day, you're going to be waiting. Like, I'm now booked till our Thanksgiving is in October, so don't get excited. But till after our Thanksgiving, I am now booked.
That's amazing.
Now, doesn't count. I am flying out in less than 48 hours.
I get to see you soon in Texas.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it makes a difference.
This is really great. You've sold a couple of really big packages lately. And I think I told you this, but this actually happens a lot whenever people first join my program. Momentum or Team Building Blueprint, they put an investment down in themselves. And I feel it truly sends a signal to the powers that be
100%.
that I am a woman who's worthy of investment because I have now put money in myself. And you know what signal that sends to other people is that you're a woman worthy of investment, that your business is worthy to be invested in. But if you're unwilling to invest in yourself, how can others be willing to invest in you? And that's something that I struggled with for a long time until I realized I've got to be congruent. If I want to attract better clients, I've got to value myself better. And valuing myself better looks like X, Y, and Z, right? And I just see it so often with people who join. And I saw it with you, Erin, which is why I wanted to have you come on, is I remember you 6 months ago, and you were in a different mindset than you are now. The same Erin that joined Reboot in March is not the same Erin that joined Team Building Blueprint. You are now unrecognizable to yourself, and you've come to step into your value. And so now you're attracting that right back of people who are willing to say, here's several $1,000s for you and your team to come do this. Because now you have decided I'm a woman who trusts myself. And now other people can see she is a woman who can be trusted because now that you've trusted yourself to do it, right? Yeah. So I just want to say, well done. I call that the rock star effect. Whenever people join and like within a week, sometimes within a day, they sell the biggest thing they've ever sold. I feel like it's God winking on you, telling you, I love you. Because we do powerful work in people's homes. And we work super hard. And we deserve to be paid for our time and for our skills, right? And so for you to be able to step forward and call those clients in is really what it comes down to. It just warms my heart. It makes me so happy for you. Yeah. Do y'all have anything else you want to share to anybody watching about package pricing and taking the leap?
I would say just do it. I mean, I tried to find all these reasons why, you know, maybe it wouldn't work for me, but it's like, why reinvent the wheel? It's like such a well-oiled machine. Like, just do it. Like, instead of, I just kept trying to do things on my own, and just the accountability. Anyway, I'm talking about joining a group, but I don't know. It's just nice having other people in the same boat because I felt like I was alone before, you know. But yeah, now I feel more professional. My dates are booked out versus hustling. You know, I felt like I had that scarcity mindset, and Yeah. I'd say just do it.
I think the scarcity mindset for sure sets in when you are feeling like you're just floating out there on your own and like a wing and a prayer. Like honestly, just seat of my pants kind of thing. And now that, I've invested into myself, I am investing in my business because it's something that we really want. I know what it's going to do for me and my family. And since taking that leap, I mean, it's scary, but it's that fine line between like absolutely terrified and super excited. And like, it's that adrenaline and having, and again, talking more the group effect, having the support, like at any time you can jump on, the Reboot Facebook group or Momentum or TBB and ask a question, and somebody else is going to be up at that hour and give you suggestions and help you talk you back off that cliff, because thinking like, what have I done? And give you that faith in yourself and that belief in yourself. And I think by doing the package pricing, it's just, I feel more professional. I feel more pulled together. I know what I'm saying. I'm the jibber jabber, the verbal diarrhea has cut back because I have it set out. I don't have to question, oh, well, let's add this. And there's no a la carte with me. It's here's my package. Here's what we do. And I'm the right person for the job if you have the money to pay me.
So in short, no mo verbal diarrhea.
Exactly.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank y'all so much for sharing your experiences. Shannon says, investing in yourself pays off. So excited to see you. And key and credit card people are my kind of people, she says. Yeah, package pricing will definitely help with that. You're going to draw in the right people. Callie and Aaron and Julie, who just had to pop off a little bit ago to go get her daughter from school, are all good examples of this. It can feel a little bit confusing at first because it's new. And that's what I tell people. It's not confusing, it's just new. So think about how many times you've learned something new, like riding a bicycle. Do you remember when you were like 6 years old and you're like feeling a little bit wobbly, But knowing that somebody's there, maybe knowing that your dad is there with his hand on your back and being like, go for it. My dad used to tell me, he's like, you were like a little monkey on that bicycle, I was like, woo! He goes, you rode it the first time you got on it. I was like, this does not surprise me. I also did not talk until I started talking in complete sentences when I was 2. I did not do little words here and there. I was like saving up, and then here comes the complete sentences.
I could so see that. I want to see a picture of Holly at that age.
I think we need a posting of baby Holly.
Okay, I'm going to show you real quick. I'll show you my kindergarten picture.
Oh my gosh, I want to see.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, let me see here. Photos. I've got it in my profile photos on my account.
I'm just impressed that she actually has a picture of her that young on her computer, because my baby in childhood pictures are not digitized. They're still like on slides.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Let me see if I can share my screen.
I know the box.
Okay, I think this will show. Y'all tell me if you can see this.
Oh my
goodness. See this little picture?
Oh my goodness.
That's me and my daddy. My little blue eyes and curly hair.
Oh my goodness.
And then I've got one that is, let's see, albums, profile pictures. I've got my kindergarten. Oh, here's me, large and in charge, riding a tractor.
Oh my God.
Pink Nikes. Oh my gosh. And then I saw my kindergarten picture. Here it is. This is the one I'm looking for.
Oh, that is the sweetest thing. Oh my gosh.
You see that squishy nose, that scrunchy nose? I hated that picture when I was little, and now I absolutely love it.
Oh yeah.
Like I was a firecracker when I was 4. You better believe that.
Oh yeah.
That is awesome.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming on. Thanks for sharing your stories. Now I want to see y'all's baby pictures. Post them in the TBB group. We should get a thread going. That would be hilarious. And thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sharing your stories.
You're welcome.
Y'all give them some love in the chat to Erin and Callie. And I want to tell you about one last thing, and that is getorganizingclients.com. This is a free challenge that's coming up. This is where you sign up. September 30th, so Monday, 2 weeks from now. So 2 weeks from today, around this time, we will, actually, I think it's at noon, we'll be doing a 3-day challenge, completely free, that's going to help break down the 3-step process to even be able to put yourself out there. If you're wondering, how do these people sell these packages? Where do these magical clients come from, right? That's what I hear from some people. There is a process, and I'll give you a hint. One of the best ways to develop new contacts is to generate curiosity. And in this challenge, we're going to talk about how to develop curiosity from people that gets them asking you questions and coming to you. One of the things that I hear from organizers is they don't like to put themselves out there, right? They're like, oh, I don't like feeling salesy. I don't like putting myself out there and selling. Well, you don't actually sell on social media. You can generate curiosity on social media, though. And there's a special way to do this that I want to walk you through. So go to this link, and I will make sure to put it in the chat here as well. www.get, typing on my phone as we talk. I say we, me and the mouse in my pocket. We as in I. So that will be September 30th. That will be right after my 40th birthday. So I turned 40 on September 26th, 10 days away. And my college girlfriends from Texas A&M, we do this thing called Whoop! Aggies Whoop. My college girlfriends are coming in for 3 days and celebrating my birthday with me. And they will have just left. So that will be so much fun. I can't wait. We're going to be spending time in an Airbnb together, going to the spa, eating some Mexican food, doing girl things, whatever girls do. And I'm so excited. And then this will be right after that. So getorganizingclients.com. We'd love to have y'all join. We do this a couple times a year, and it's always a good time. So head on over, sign up, and I will see y'all 2 weeks from now. We don't have a live stream next week. I'm going to be in Austin for the next 2 weeks, like I mentioned. So we're hosting a retreat for the rock stars, and I will be busy with that. But you will be getting some emails telling you about this, and I hope to see you there. Hope you have the most amazing day, and I'll see y'all later. Toodles.